Talking Lions news here. We're going to talk about Penei Sewell. There's a reason why I didn't make a video about it yesterday. And we're going to talk about, what they did at practice, injuries, all of that stuff. Let's go. Subscribe. Why? Because we're going to be having other content creators on here just waiting for the word for that to be good to go, and then they can make that content. Woof! Happy Thursday to everybody out there. And yesterday there was news in practice about Penei Sewell getting injured. I didn't want to make a video on it until we knew a little bit more because it'd be such a significant turn of events either way. But he injured his ankle in practice yesterday. A lot of people were worried, as people should be worried, right? Like, it's a big piece. But it looks like everything is fine there. He should be good to go for week one, I guess. There's nothing significant from what I'm hearing, and the Lions are very cautious. Penei Sewell is a stud anyways, and he is literally like a lumberjack. Iron Man never misses time, so I would suspect he's not going to miss time. You're not going to see him, obviously, in the preseason game. Just like any other starter, you're not really going to see in this preseason game, as you should not be seeing it. But it doesn't seem like the injury is that big of a deal. And Justin Rogers put there, he's reportedly good. Again, we haven't heard an update from Dan Campbell, but if it was serious, we would have known about it by now. We'd have known signs of it. And it's not serious. So should be good to go for week one for sure. That's what I'm thinking. Matter of fact, there's going to be a lot of players that's probably going to be back for week one. You got Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw. DJ Reader could be good for week one, depending on how many snaps he gets. Obviously, Marcus Davenport, Jameer Gibbs. Lions are really cautious with injuries, and that's one thing I love about this regime is they are very cautious. They don't play around with injuries, and so if there's dinged up, they do give them rest, and that is very important, very smart decision. There's no reason to push players if you're dinged up right now because the season is so long. Man, you're talking about 17 weeks, right? Then you got the playoffs, potentially a championship game, and then before you get the preseason, these guys need to rest sometimes. And so I think rest is really, really important. The season is so long, and I know the offseason's long, and we're like, man, we want to see some football, but these guys get banged up pretty good. They need the offseason to heal the body. So, when there's any sort of injury that happened at training camp, or OTAs or practice, just rest the guy. These guys are good to go. Veterans are really good to go, right? They know what they're going on. They don't need as much reps as practice as some of these young guys. Rest them up. Rest. Observations from training camp yesterday, and this is great. The defense performed the best. I love hearing this because I know what the offense brings. I know how good this offense can be, but it's more the defense. And man, oh man, I love seeing this. Here's all the drives. 3 plays, punt from the Lions offense. 5 plays, punt. 1 play, pick 6. 6 plays, field goal. 3 plays, punt. 4 plays, interception. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, turnover. So yeah, there were some good plays by the offense, but look at all this. Good job by the Lions defense out there getting it done. I love hearing about it. I love seeing how this defense, and I think it's legit. This is not just something that we're hoping for, something that we want this to be. I've seen so far enough in preseason plus what we're hearing in training camp to really do believe that this defensive line is much improved. We already knew the linebackers were really good. And the secondary is significantly improved. in my opinion. We have seen it. You know, they talk about the first two drives of the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes doing the backhand throw, and that was really cool. But they forget to tell you that in those two drives, there's Lions backups in there, and they scored 2 points against the starters. It was an amazing job by the defense. And then obviously there was the Carson Wentz got the touchdown after the turnover on special teams. Look, there's going to be times in games that this defense is going to get exposed. It's going to get deep. You got Terry Arnold, who's going to be out there as a rookie. Ennis Rakestraw is a rookie. These guys haven't practiced a whole lot together, right? They're new. But it's going so right now in the right direction. And I'm just assuming, by mid-season, this defense is going to be pretty stout. The errors are probably going to be worked out by then. The younger guys are going to have experience. Awesome. Just talking about here. Brian Branch, great. Brandon Joseph, great. Ennis Rakestraw paired with Carlton Davis start. Like, you're seeing players all over this defense that's making plays. So you got Amik Robertson. He's been making plays, right? We know Brian Branch is making plays. You got Brandon Joseph, the safety, trying to make this team make a plays. You got Ennis Rakestraw, whom they drafted. Carlton Davis with the pick. These are all the new guys besides Brian Branch. And Brandon Joseph, more of a developmental player from last year. But these are all the new guys making the plays, really. Love it. And of course, the offense is going to get theirs, right? We have one of the best offenses in football. That's why it's like, oh, they scored a couple touchdowns. This is what we expect, right? I expect the offense to be great. I expect them to be good. And this is making this defense even better is they're practicing against this offense. That's what makes them really good. Everybody is just making plays. Missed the extra point, wide left. This is something right here. We do got to get better there. Jake Bates has got to get these extra points down pat. You can make the big kicks, but you got to make the extra points. That's a little concerning. Still work in progress with him, but you got to get these extra points. Can't be getting touchdowns, only getting 6 points here. Then lose a game by 1 point. That really is a salty way to lose it. Illy McNeil got one of them. Yeah, of course, you're going to see this, right? Jared Goff is crushing it, but this expected. Khalif Raymond, I expected it. Happy with the defense, man. Jack Campbell. Craig Reynolds. I heard there was an injury to Craig Reynolds. We haven't heard anything on it. I wouldn't be too worried about it, in all honesty. Jameson Williams. Woo. He's going to be good, too, this season. But Lions defense really, really owned it of the day. And we're going to need this to take this team to the Super Bowl. You got to have a complete team. Offense, defense, special teams, right? You want to make sure that you're in San Francisco again, or you're playing San Francisco. What occurred at the end, the second half or third quarter / fourth quarter, that game doesn't happen. We got more weapons now on defense to make sure that this doesn't happen again. That the Lions don't have to rely on offense just consistently having to score. You got a defense that can slow it down, right? The Vildor play. Vildor has actually been really good in camp, but he is right now the very bottom of the cornerback group. He's not going to be starting now. There's going to be situations where a lot of these guys will be started. There's going to be injuries throughout the season, and that's cool, but they're not. Vildor was basically number 2 last year. Now he's number 5, so there's a big difference. And I appreciate what he brings to the team. He's going to make the team, in my opinion. But Terrion Arnold, Carlton Davis, Mick Robertson, Ennis Rakestraw is better than him. So it just shows how big the difference is. You had Vildor and Sutton. Now you have Terrion Arnold and Davis, Amik, and Ennis. Khalil Dorsey's looking good, too, out there. The safeties, Brandon Joseph's looking good. It's just a complete roster. We're still worrying about that number, 4 wide receiver, but with all in all, they'll probably just pick one up, I'm going to assume, with cuts happen, or if they make a low-end trade before the season starts. Worried about Jake Bates' extra points, and that's really about it. Injuries is a concern for every team, so we're always going to worry about it, but so is every team is going to be worrying about it. Lions are getting healthier and healthier. Sunday, pretty much everybody seems like it's going to be back. That's what Dan Campbell said. So the injury front is getting better for the Lions. They're trying the right direction. A lot of teams are banged up right now. You have Matthew Stafford, he practiced for a while. You had Justin Herbert didn't practice for a while. All teams are going through this right now, right? And you've seen the Vikings. They lost J.J. McCarthy for the year. Addison got banged up. So, this is just part of the game. The Lions got great depth, and that's what makes them a Super Bowl contender. It's not just the starters, but it's the depth as well. That's why we're always concerned about backup quarterback, or we talk about the 4th receiver or edge, because we just want to have a complete roster. We know what will happen if you do. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the Lions defense and Penei Sewell. With that said, folks, adios.